What's going on to all my C fans out there, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again, breaking down the latest episode, which was episode 7, titled The Queen's Speech, an episode in which we see the war starting to begin, but we get some more of that family drama that I love. We're breaking it all down here in this spoiler review, but before we dive into it all, make sure you're checking me out on all my other social media accounts. If you're new to the channel, well, welcome to the community. Consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. That way you can get the alert for when I drop new content. If you enjoyed this spoiler review, well, make sure to like and share the review. It helps out the channel a lot, but I also appreciate the support. And once you've seen the 7th episode, because we're talking spoilers, let's talk about it in the comments. Your pros, your cons, your thoughts and theories about the finale that will be so incredible. I can just predict it right now. The war is going to be epic, but I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. So before we jump into this breakdown and review, man, I love this show, ladies and gentlemen. This season of C has been incredible, and this episode just continues to show more of that incredible dialogue, great character development, great character interaction between one another. The war is shaping up. We haven't gotten a ton of action. I know some people haven't been the biggest fans of the lack of action, but you're going to be happy next week. It's going to be like Battle of the Bastards level for Game of Thrones fans out there. I have a feeling that the action will be epic next week, but this episode is fantastic. The truths about Queen Kane, the reign of the new queen, the Paris and Told moment, Queen Kane, Kofun, Wren, Haniwa, Ito, and Baba. It's all incredible, and I love it, and I can't wait to break it down, so let's get into it. We open up with Queen Kane, who officially sets off and declares war, but of course she leaves out the betrayal that she did last week, right? That's only the thing that Queen Kane would do, but Maghra steps up. She wants to say something. As Queen says, she always has something to say, but she tells her, your witchfinders don't want to fight for you, and she says, of course they want to fight for me. They're my army. They do what I say, until my boy, the main witchfinder, our favorite witchfinder, comes out, and he is alive to this, obviously the shock of Queen Kane, and he has some words to say for her as he tells everyone in the console the truth about what she did last season. And it now is official, ladies and gentlemen, that our queen, or I should say our princess, has now been promoted to Queen Maghra. Her reign has begun. We got Harlan on her side. We got everyone on her side. Out with the old, in with the new. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Only time will tell. But right now, she's looking pretty good as a queen, if you ask me. But keep in mind, I don't know if you all were looking at Kofun's face as, Queen Kane, or ex-Queen Kane, her, her nephew slash new boyfriend, his face. He was just shocked by learning all this stuff. And we'll talk about Kofun, who did some good things in this episode that we'll talk about, but leave it up to Queen Kane as far as destiny goes. She's about to get her head chopped off, but Paris steps up and says the words to everyone, sees with child, and note that everyone is just like, I'm mad Paris didn't say who the daddy was. I don't know if she knows, like intuition, she has her visions. Does she know who the father is? She's just keeping that information to herself. But if she would have said that in front of everyone, that really would have spiced up the scene. But that will come out sooner rather than later. But she tells them, don't kill the baby for the sins of the mother and all that stuff. But we get they have other pressing matters at hand, because Ito and his army are on the way, and they are coming. As we cut to Ito and Wren as they're making their way with their sighted soldiers, and again he's going to keep her promise, because like I said last week, Ito not only respects Wren, he loves her like a daughter, as he says in this very scene, and he'll do anything to protect her. He's going to keep her secret for now, but he's going to protect her because that's a daughter to him. What a great opening to a fantastic episode, as we get more incredible writing of this conflict from the show as they're preparing for this unexpected earlier arrival. Haniwa and Kofun, they want to fight, which I love that they have. Haniwa's always been a fighter, but now that Kofun, who still, I don't think he's technically trained, all his trainings were told, but he has more training under his belt than he did last year, because he couldn't defend himself at all last year, and even at the beginning of this season. So they want to get into the war, but we see this conflict between their parents. Baba does not want his kids in this war, especially a war. He doesn't care for the crown, the queen. He just wants to protect his family. Meanwhile, Maghra, aka Queen, the new queen of the situation, she has both things on her plate. So we see that they're going back and forth, and I can see where Bob is coming from. Yes, the sighted have his advantage, but we also know the sighted aren't nearly as skilled as the blind people in the show, and Maghra's just like, we need every single advantage that we can possibly use at our hands. So again, Bob was like, that's false confidence. The fact that Ito thinks that these sighted people are better than us, false confidence. I love the back and forth, and we even get a more continuation of the scene between these two. And I have to say it right now, This scene right here between Baba and Maghra is my favorite scene that they have shared in the entire series so far, as they're going back and forth. And again, I think that the tension is there. It gets heated. They talk about having their family find together just to separate them, as Baba even says that, you know what, Maghra, your death is on your hands. She smacks him, and again, just you can feel the tension, you can feel the animosity, you can feel the love, you can feel the uncertainty, and you can just feel the parents wanting to protect their kids and keep their family together. Again, I think that is the best scene that they have shared in this, and they've had some great scenes. I'm not dismissing their previous scenes that they've shared together, but this to me was their best scene that they've ever had in a show so far. But that is something that I enjoyed. But after that opening, I want to see these two characters interact, and that is Kofun and his auntie, baby mama to be, and Queen Kane, as Kofun, he steps up. He has grown a pair, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that new hairdo last week has come to be a new man. As he immediately asks, is the child mine? And why have you been using me? So I'm like, Kofun? This is the same Kofun. He's taking charge right now. He's asking the right questions right now. I see you, Kofun, as he's a dad, so I guess he has to step up a little bit, right? But no, I'm being for real, Kofun. I've really enjoyed what the show has done with them. I'm not, and I told you all in my very first review of episode 1 of season 2, I'm not a Kofun fan at all. But slowly but surely, it's the writing, it's the performances, it's the development that's got us to this point. And I'm rooting for him at this moment. I'm proud of Kofun, young idiot Kofun has made some very terrible decisions. But it's in this scene that Queen Kane, of course, she takes it to the next level as she takes the rope, puts it around his neck, like, just go ahead and end it right now. She escapes death twice in this episode because Kofun is doing it, but he can't do it because the baby, he can't kill a mother with a baby to be, especially his baby to be. But like I said, she's able to defeat death in this episode twice. But she gets into the conversation and really kind of gets in his head. This is the future. This is the future right here, Kofun. Your baby, my baby, will be the future of this world. And he really kind of confuses her because he's just like, step up, be a dad, be a man. And again, just another great scene between those characters. And she's already in his head, obviously. But I think that it's going to come to Kofun is going to have to protect Queen Kane when it comes to it. Because again, she's gotten to his head and she's wrapped him up in her spider web of lies. But again, I like that Kofun is really stepping up in this season. But this episode just continues to get better and better as the dialogue is just incredible. We get this great moment between Baba and the Witchfinder talking about their past families and what they fight for. And yes, they're against all odds, but they're not just your standard soldiers who's against all odds. Baba is here to fight for the win. Again, that dialogue between those two is just, whenever they share the screen together, it's just gold for me. But time for the new queen to have her speech to motivate her army. Yes, they have more. They're better trained. You're not alone. There's fear that's very present. This is the moment that we're in as she addresses them as not their queen, but as a mother, as a wife. She's not talking to soldiers. She's talking to daughters, sons, mothers, fathers, and they have a lot to lose, right? And she just says all this stuff, and she's talking about fighting for the future. We have to be swift. We have to be strong. We have to stand together. And the crowd goes, wow, what a great speech for the new queen. As we know, the title of this episode is The Queen's Speech. Great speech, Maghra. That got me motivated to fight for you all. So I really thought that was great. But the question that came at mind is, who's going to come back alive? Will the queen have, as we'll talk about in a second, she's having her moments. Baba Voss, Haniwa, her family, who will come back after next week's finale? Only time will tell. But let's go to this very interesting scene with Paris and Toad, who goes on this secret mission. And I believe this secret mission was her taking Toad to go to Bold Lion and to the Compass for they can help. And again, I compare the show a lot to Game of Thrones. This is kind of like when the Vel came and helped in the Battle of the Bastards, helped Jon Snow. I think that it's going to happen next week, where Baba Voss and them are going to be losing, and then all of a sudden the Compass, Bold Lion are going to come up and help them out. That's what I'm predicting at the moment. But nonetheless, we see that they're on their journey, and things get spicy. Things get a little bit frisky as they kiss. And I'm like, I always kind of knew that it was like some type of respect for them, but I didn't know it was sexually. And they are making out at the moment, and hearing Paris moaning and groaning was interesting to say the least. But they get interrupted by this person with a mysterious sword, which I don't know who this person is. Is it Bo Lion that is already coming to help them out? Is it someone from the Compass? I'm not sure who it is. Only time will tell. Let me know who you all think that person was with the mysterious sword. But let's get to it as we're gearing up for the end of the episode. As Ito sends the mystery guy that he was talking to at the beginning of the episode, he sends that person in his army or his little kind of assassin group to take out Maghra. And we see Maghra, who's been prepping since the beginning of this show. She stands her own, but unfortunately she's not able to take out both guys. She's at the verge of death. That's where Harlan comes into the mix. I'm like, Harlan, okay, I like you, Harlan. You're stepping up for your wife. At the moment, he gets stabbed. He doesn't die, because I'm like, they're about to kill Harlan. I like this character. He doesn't die, but he gets stabbed, and we see that Maghra ultimately stabs the guy in the eye, and they share a bit of a moment. And again, Harlan's okay. He's stabbed, but he's not dead. But again, I love, again, not only does she give a great speech, but she also can kick ass. That's my type of queen. So as we wrap things up, and this shot right here, more than impressed with this shot as we get the snow and the mountains and the two armies looking at each other. I think it's 350 versus maybe 100 people on their side as we see Wren and Haniwa. They look at each other. Ito and Baba, they know that they're there. You can just feel the tension in the air as we wrap things up. Haniwa gets permission to talk to her friend on the other side, which we know to be his Wren. They have a bit of moment. She tells her the truth. Wren believes her, and they kiss, and we get all this stuff here, and we end the episode with the war. She's saying, run, I can't stop it, it's too late. And we see a rain of arrows coming over to the side as the war is going to begin. I'm not going to lie, going back to the Game of Thrones, I thought it was going to be a Ramsay moment. I thought that Wren was going to kill Haniwa. I literally thought she was going to be like, I believe you, but I don't care. Like, slit her throat, chop off her head, and Baba was going to go crazy. If they would have done that, that would have been insane. But no, they didn't do that, which I'm happy because I love Haniwa. But nonetheless, the war has started. Ito, Baba, the war next week. I'm telling you all who have been missing the action, you're going to get some action next week. I just feel it in my bones. It's going to be heads. Speaking of bones popping, heads popping, blood all over the place. They're going to make up for the lack of action, which I've been okay with because the dialogue has been fire. But we're going to get a lot of great action, some great dialogue, and I hope it's going to be a fantastic finale for a fantastic season of season 2 so far. But the war is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't wait. But that's just my thoughts. Another fantastic episode. But let me know your thoughts, your pros, your cons. Who will live? Who will die next week? How will the sighted army be at an advantage or a disadvantage? Ito, Baba, Ito, they're going to have that moment. Will the big brother protect his little brother? So much. And again, Queen Kane, that baby, Haniwa, Kofun, the new queen is in order. I can't wait for the finale. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. For you all that stuck around to this point in the video, I appreciate every single one of you all. Before you leave, make sure to like the video, share the video. Again, leave your thoughts in the comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. That way you don't miss any more other content. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you're staying safe. As you can see on the screen now, subscribe to my channel. Check out my other content. We'll see you in the next video.